Send my roots to work as hard as I do. Been on the money train looking for more better blues. Them school days, no class act, I was breaking all the rules. Life's a boomerang and I had nothing to lose. Another boy in the hood is how it come across. I feel like Dr. Doolittle, but the money talks. They yelling he got game, I'm not the one to ball. This just some fresh soul food for every one of y'all. Yeah.
Yo. Welcome back for another episode of Cornbread Movie Review. Thank y'all out to the subscribers, the viewers, the listeners, the sharers, the commenters, the likers, all y'all. Don't dislike. Hey, I see you. Don't think about it. But welcome back for another episode of Cornbread Movie Review. I'm Cornbread 1016. Follow me on all platforms, Cornbread 1016 and Cornbread Movie Review if you can find one of those. Then obviously A Square Podcast. Come on, man. We got a podcast too. Every week we hitting y'all with bangers. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another movie review. All right. So today's movie is Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1. That's a tongue twister. The movie's out now. It's rated R. It's in theaters. If you're new to the channel, understand I do each movie in 5 different categories, all right? Acting, cinematography, storytelling. Then I get what I bought, then it's a must-see. Adds it up, spits out a Cornbread movie review. And then I rank it against all my movies for this year, right? So today, the first category is acting. Who is in this movie? You got your man, Tom Cruise, playing Ethan Hunt once again. Ethan Hunt is a bad mamma jamma, boy. Like I don't know, is he a spy or like a 007 type of person? I don't know. He's just it's like if there's missions that need to be out there and they can't do it with the CIA, the Alphabet Boys, they call them, right? They call Ethan Hunt's team, which the U.S. wants them. They want to kill them and arrest them, but yet they're hiring them. Don't make a little sense. But he plays the same character. Bad man. A lot of fight scenes. He does his own stunts. That's the one thing that I really like about Tom Cruise is that he does his own stunts, bro. Like, he getting out there. He ain't just finna have y'all doing. Even if they say do not do the stunt, he'll fire that person and say find somebody else who can audit and say I can do it. And he goes to get them, and they signed off, and he does it. So shout out to him. Also in this movie is Haley Atwell. I think she's new to the franchise. Man, look, man, we gonna talk about this in storytelling, but to me, she plays a thief. You know, she looks pretty cute. You know what I'm saying? She's the eye candy on screen. But then at the end, damn near, she like an assassin and a parkourist and a gymnast. Like, her character arc is like high. It's like she changed from this point when you first saw her to the end. But it's like, how? How did we get there, right? And we're going to talk about that. But she does a good job. I think she deals with playing the character of, okay, I'm the victim or I'm innocent, but yet really behind the mask, right? She's going to try to cook you up, right? She's going to try to steal something from you, or she has a bigger play at hand. So I think that was pretty cool that she always kept her cool and for certain situations, right? So for me, I really want to give a shout out to Mission Impossible for keeping the same crew. That is very difficult. 7 movies in. I think the only other franchise that does that is like the Fast and Furious franchise. So that's a tough feat. These other actors don't really get on camera longevity to show their skills in acting. So they might have a line or two, and then they'll cut and go to let's say the main character, right? So they always have one-liners, or they're always in a tough situation, they'll get out of it, but then they're not seen until there's another tough situation, they got to get out of it. So you really can't get more of a development of those characters because they've played the same character for 7 movies. So it feels like we're not pushing them forward. They play that small role, and that's it. So overall, acting for me is going to get a 3 out of 5. And the only reason it gets a 3 out of 5 is because Tom Cruise really does his stunts. All right. That's the totality of the acting. So next category, cinematography. So this movie is 2 hours and 30 minutes, and that's part one. I'll let you know if that's good or bad, in a little bit. But that's part one. The movie is also $291 million. How, Sway? 291 of them things. The good thing though, man, these locations that they were going, so they were in Amsterdam, they're in Yemen, they're in Washington, D.C., they're in Venice, they're also in the Australian Alps. So a lot of different locations. How they film certain things, I would say the sandstorm scene, great. I haven't seen too many sandstorm action scenes, right? Like usually somebody's like in a desert and they're just trying to get through it and they see like a farm and now they're safe. This was actually a couple minutes of action in that storm. Like, so I'm sure creating that was difficult. Also, they filmed them near a full airport, right? And running on top of it and inside and doing all this and going from gate to gate and other stuff like that. So you do get points from me from that because you rarely see, there's always sections of pieces when they film, but they try to use the whole scene, the whole canvas. And I really like that. Also, what gets this movie kudos and points, the same thing when I kill Fast and Furious, those scenes for, I'm going to praise them in this. And that is car chase scenes. This is real. You got cars wrecking into each other. You got flat tires. You got doors coming off. You got cars stalling out or drifting and the girl doesn't know how to drive, right? So it's like doing certain things. Like those are realistic to me of no, have the physics of the car real. It's okay if the car breaks down. Have them just steal another one, right? Or get into it or outrun something and they just get hit and spun around. Like to me, that's what I enjoy of, okay, make it seem like they are in some type of danger and they're not superheroes. So I really enjoyed that. With the budget was high. The cinematography, the scenes were nice. It was inside scenes and outside, which we're gonna get into, where my man really jumped off of a mountain. If you haven't seen the videos, go on YouTube. So Tom Cruise really rolled the motorcycle off a ramp and skydove, right? And he did that like 6 times for the best one. He did this 6 times, but they CGI'd it to make it like a mountain, and he went off and then jumped. So for me, I think this was their wheelhouse to make it look great, and the budget came with it. So of course they can make it look great, but a 4.5 out of 5 for cinematography. Okay, next category, storytelling. So, like I said, this movie is Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, right? And that's pivotal why I said Part 1. So this part sets up, obviously, the second movie. So you have, the scene starts off where, I'm going to give a couple spoilers, but, I don't tell y'all everything, man, because I still want y'all to see it, good or bad. The scene starts off with, let's say, a submarine that can go in stealth mode. And obviously bad timing with submarines. And submarines ain't gonna never be the same after in real life, right? But there's a submarine that's in stealth mode, tries to attack something. Another submarine, it doesn't happen. Something happens to the main submarine that they're in, right? But you find out that it's AI technology behind all of what you're physically seeing on the screen, right? Like your tablet showing you something, but it's not really there. So AI is behind what's going on. They're the threat and the villain in this movie. With that being said, there's a 2 key that can stop the AI from continuing, right? It would kind of shut it down. So that's the premise behind the movie. You also have a continuation of an older villain from the previous movie where now he's being ran by this AI, right? So the AI is telling him, like, if you ask him a crazy question, he can answer it because he has the AI in his ear or transmitting the information to him in real time. Like the AI can tell the future, right? So the problem that I have with that premise is he's acting like he's souped up in a superhero though. So like, even though he can, let's say, tell the future, he knows what's going to happen and doing all these things mentally, but physically, how is he doing all this stuff? How is he immune to getting cooked up, getting punched, getting hit, how does that make him the baddest man on the planet physically? Those two aren't mutually related, right? Like you could be smart, but not strong, and strong without smart, or you could have a strong, smart person, but doesn't mean that he's the best one in every situation. So you have this man. Let me back up too, bro. I hate scenes where you have 15 people shooting at one person and they missing. Why? How? 15 people spraying. Ain't got no aim. But the protagonist shoot. Ha, bam. Shot one in the head. Bam. Shot another. Like, stop the cat, bro. Stop the cat, bro. And then, this is another problem that I have with the storyline. You have the chick, like I said, the thief. Remember her? You have her being a thief and innocent, not knowing, what's going on. And then in the middle, she fighting hand to hand. She putting her own up. You know what I'm saying? She might have lost, but she was giving them the business. And then at the end, she doing all this stuff, tricking people. Like, how did we get to this point, bro? How? I didn't see no training. I didn't see no time lapse. Hey, 2 years later, I didn't see none of that. So how did she magically get these powers and this knowledge on how to fight, how to survive, all these tactics and stuff like that? Like, come on, bro. Stop the cat, bro. I don't like it. And then on top of me not liking it, the movie's incomplete. It's the same issue I had with Spider-Man, right? Like, I understand going into it, there's going to be a sequel. But this movie still wasn't complete, right? So it's like, how can I grade you off of a completed story when it's not complete? Same thing I have with Spider-Man. Unless it's like Infinity War, we knew that was going to be a sequel. But how that ended? What? Let's go. Like, that's the standard that we holding stuff by, especially if we know it's going to be a sequel. So for me, storytelling is going to get a 3 out of 5, bro. I can't give you extra points because it didn't finish. And then all those flaws that I just stated have to get cooked up, man. So 3 out of 5 for storytelling from Cornbread. All right. Next category, did I get what I bought? The movie is an action thriller, standard seats, right? 10 to 15, or $15 to $20, depending on when you go and where you go, right? It's not like it's a must see in IMAX or must see in 3D or anything like that. So very standard seating. For this, it's more of, hey, let me see who the villain is in this time. And for me, the best villain was MI3, right? Mission Impossible 3. That was the best villain from that. So I'm always interested to see like that in 007, who the villains are. They get extra points for me to see if they really going in the world. So AI technology was the main villain in this. So I thought, okay, that's a nice little mix up, right? It's not just one person, but it is AI. And how can you fight AI? Very difficult. You get the nostalgia of Ethan Hawke running. He'd be running for debt, bro. He is in shape, bro. I want to know how many times he's done those scenes, right? Like if he runs through the cathedral or on the airport, like, does he say cut and then they say, all right, we'll go back and you'll run again, or is it just a one-tape thing? So that's always pretty cool to see what scene they're going to make for him to run and try to catch somebody or run from something, right, to stop in time. The movie is a big cat and mouse game, so it's the standard Mission Impossible. Hey, this mess is about to destruct in 10 seconds. Do you accept or not? And it's to save the world. So nothing more, nothing less from Mission Impossible. And then as I'm watching this scene, like the end with the train, when it turned into a parkour session, I'm watching, I'm like, this is dragging on entirely too long, right? And it's like, how do we get, like, that's impossible, right? But reflecting on it, I'm like, all right, that scene was pretty cool. I would have died, definitely. I would have been out of there. But just going back, trying to give them a little more points that, okay, I see what they were trying to do. And it's like you're on the edge of your seat. You're staying focused, and it distracts you just for a few seconds of what's going on, and then it puts them in survival mode. So I really like that, looking back on it, right? So did I get what I bought in this category? I'm going to say a 4 out of 5, okay? Last category, is it a must-see? Once again, it's part 1. So part 2 is probably going to come out next year. Hopefully, I think they finished filming it, and they just chopped it up. So I don't know how long. Let's say if part 2 is 2 hours and 50 minutes, I don't know, bro. I don't know how I'm feeling about that, because it's like we did something. Okay, now let's just get to it, right? Like, how are you going to add another 2 hours and 50 minutes on that? So I don't know that. I like the dynamic filming of, like I said, in the desert. They're doing certain thing. They utilize the whole airport when they filming, and I don't know if the budget was continuation for the next film, right? So I'm excited to see how cinematography looks in the second film. Tom Cruise doing his own stunts, so that's always a plus. Like I said, I tip my hat off to him. Look, I tip my hats off to Tom Cruise for doing his own stunts. I envy that. I think that's always pretty cool. One issue that I have with Mission Impossible, though, is my man, everybody switches faces, right? Has a whole machine where they can just put on faces. Why is Ethan Hunt always being searched for, but he don't put on somebody else's face? Like, how do they even know Ethan Hunt's there? Riddle me that, Batman. Why don't he just put on somebody else's face and then complete the mission? That, to me, that makes too much sense. But hey, who am I? I'm just cornbread, man. So is it a must see? I'm gonna say a 4 out of 5. I'm excited to see the second movie. And I've seen all the Mission Impossible, so definitely this one was gonna be a must see as well. So overall, cornbread movie review. This movie, I don't know how y'all did it. I squeaked by your chitty chin chin. Gets a 4 out of 5 from Cornbread Movie Review. I thought this movie was going to be a little bit better, especially for a 4 out of 5. You know, the 4 out of 5s are solid. Like, I would definitely watch that again. This one, I don't feel like that, but I got to tell the truth in the categories, okay? So overall, like I said, Cornbread Movie Review gets a 4 out of 5. Check out my Cornbread Movie Review rankings from 2023. Check that out, all right? So now this brings me to the forgotten segment, all right? This is a movie that you never heard of. Definitely need to double back, or that you forgot about. Come on, bro. But this is a forgotten segment. We are going to discuss the movie Radio. Yes, Radio, ladies and gentlemen, came out in 2003. My man Cuba Gooding Jr. What? Like, come on. I love, first off, I love football movies, especially great classic football movies. And this is based off a true story. I actually think the young man who Cuba was portraying, I think passed away a couple years ago, man. So, you know, rest in peace to him. But it's a great story of people are different, you know, but that football, that team camaraderie gives them something to live for. And they might have knowledge too to something, right? It shows that love, sports is bigger than that. Like you showing love, you showing family, you showing the community that no, we sticking together no matter what. So if you have not heard of or seen Radio, shame on you first off, but definitely go check out Radio, go check out Mission Impossible, and then check out all my other movie reviews, TV shows, what are the top 5s that I got going on. But I love y'all. I'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.